Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Very poor reporting on the Iran, Israel, USA situation. People speculating about stuff. They know nothing about it. Anonymous sources, a bunch of garbage. And that's why I'm glad you're here. Listening on our radio affiliates across the country and watching on television. Because we're going to set the record straight. Now, you have to know that the situation changes from hour to hour. I was on a Hannity radio program today, and I said, look, I don't have any hard data that the president has made a decision one way or the other to use U.S. air power to blow up this furlough mountain where the uranium is. I don't know if that's going to happen. I do know there are plans drawn up so that, if the president says go, it'll go fast. But at this point, I don't think he's made a decision, but I could be wrong. And it could happen anytime. So it's a tough story to be on top of, yet there's so many distortions leading up to it, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'm correct. So that's a talking points memo about isolationism. So if you believe the media, isolationism is growing. Americans don't want to get involved with foreign entanglements. They want to get out of Ukraine, don't want any money there. They don't want to help Israel with Iran. This is what the media is pushing, okay? And some high profile individuals absolutely fit into that isolationist category. But the regular folks, I don't think are there, but I could be wrong. All right, because data is hard to come by. There was a poll sent to me this morning, and it was some outfit and the poll question was, do you support military action, including ground troops in Iran? Well, no, who supports that? That's not even in play. Why do the poll? And of course, overwhelming people, no, we don't want to send U.S. forces over there. I mean, air power is one thing, but infantry is quite something else. All right, but there are, as I said, isolationists. And the interesting part is they're on both sides. The MAGA conservative side and the liberal progressive side. So here's MAGA guy Steve Bannon. Go.
I'm telling people, hey, if we get sucked into this war, which inexorably looks like it's going to happen on the combat side, it's going to not just blow up the coalition, it's also going to thwart what we're doing with the most important thing, which is the deportation of the illegal alien invaders that are here. If we don't do that, we don't have a country.
I don't know how an Iranian action would impact on ICE, but that's Mr. Bannon's opinion, and he is entitled to it. Now, on the left of the Trump haters, there's Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut. Go.
Donald Trump is so weak in the Middle East that the Israelis essentially ran over him, and now we are speeding towards a war in the Middle East that the American people don't want. The fact of the matter is there was a diplomatic path, and there potentially still could be a diplomatic path.
Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, it's obvious the Mullahs are stringing us along. How long do you want to give them? So he doesn't care, Murphy doesn't care what's true. He just hates Trump. All right, so let's run it down. Here's a fact that if there is a nuclear explosion in this world, every human being will be affected. So if you're an isolationist, you got to keep that in mind. So if the Iranians develop a nuclear weapon and they somehow streamline it down so it can be portably transported somewhere, it's very hard to do it from the air. But, and they blow something up, then everybody in the world's affected. So it's not just over there, it's here, it's everywhere. The Iranians are supporting terrorists. That's beyond any doubt. Hamas, Hezbollah, they give them money, they give them arms. The terrible nightclub assassinations in Orlando, Florida, that was ISIS. I mean, the Iranians are up to their neck in terrorism everywhere. The mullahs admit they have the weapons grade uranium. They're not denying it. They have it. And they go, oh, it's for peaceful purposes. Okay. If it's for peaceful purposes, just let the UN in. Just let them see what you got and bring it right down. It's not hard, but the mullahs won't do that. But you got to keep in mind, Saddam Hussein wouldn't do it either for weapons of mass destruction, and they didn't exist, and cost Saddam his life. He was killed because he lied about the WMDs, and then U.S. forces came in, deposed him, and the Iraqis hung him. Didn't make a lot of sense to me, but he did it. And it's also very instructive to go back a little bit. Appeasement of tyrants never works. Ever. In the history of mankind, it's never worked. So the modern day history, so you remember the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain visiting Hitler in 1938, and Hitler was taking Austria and in Czechoslovakia, and he's violating the treaty for World War I. He's doing everything. He's rearming. I mean, obviously, the guy was going to cause trouble, massive trouble, and the British go, oh, okay, go ahead. All right, World War II breaks out. Then at the end of World War II, Winston Churchill's the prime minister, and President Roosevelt and Stalin, when the war was a fait accompli that Hitler would lose, they met at Yalta. And at the end of FDR's life, he gave away the store to Stalin, gave Stalin everything he wanted. Winston was a little perturbed by it, but didn't have the power. And General Patton was going absolutely nuts, if you read Killing Patton, that FDR was giving Stalin everything Stalin wanted. What did that lead to? The Cold War. Okay, 40 years? That's what that led to. All right? So appeasement never works. So if you appease Putin, because Ukraine, that's a part of this isolationist movement. And if you appease the mullahs, there's going to be more trouble. Don't think there won't be, there will be. 100% guarantee. Now, if you don't believe that Iran's a threat to the world, you don't want to believe it. And there are people like that. They just live in a bubble. I see it every day. Oh, they're not close to developing a nuclear weapon. And one of these people is the American National Security Director, Tulsi Gabbard. This is an amazing story. So Gabbard doesn't see the threat, even though President Trump appointed her at national security. He doesn't see it. Roll the tape.
Political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to. So it's up to us, the people, to speak up and demand an end to this madness.
Now, that was just posted about a week ago. And Trump's mad. That's it for Tulsi. She's done. Okay? And when she was appointed national security chief, I like her, by the way. I mean, I've interviewed her a number of times, and I think she's a woman of conviction, but her conviction is isolationism. And Trump should have known that. So she's out. All right, let's sum this up. President Trump's not a warmonger. He doesn't really want to use U.S. air power, but there's a good chance he will. A lot of it has to do with how the mullahs behave. If the mullahs would surrender and the UN people would go in there under U.S. supervision and dismantle the whole thing, then there wouldn't be a need for it. That's probably a long shot. The mullahs themselves are going to wind up like Gaddafi, with their throats cut in a ditch. That's going to happen to them. But if they were to surrender, maybe they could extend their lives a little bit. The other possibility is the Iranian army will turn on the mullahs. Remote, okay, but the Persians are different than the Arabs. Right? The popular support in Iran is not with the mullahs, but they got the secret police state going on. All right, so I can't predict with any certainty what will happen. I do know that air power plans are drawn up, and Donald Trump could act on them anytime he wants. It's up to him 100%. Israel doesn't have much say in this. Israel have to do what we tell them to do. And Netanyahu will be thrilled if we go in and dismantle that Furlough Mountain. And the anti-Semites, the anti-Israel progressive crew, they're touting that we're lackeys to Israel. You know that. That's what all those Columbia University things were all about. You know, Israel's a terrorist state, is a genocide, on and on and on and on. But in real life, Israel's not going to let Iran have an atomic weapon, an atom bomb, a nuclear weapon, because Iran wants to kill them all. If you lived in Jerusalem, you'd feel the same way. And that's the memo. Crime at an all-time high, so you might already own a firearm. But less lethal options can avoid the financial and mental repercussions of pulling the trigger of a gun. Like Byrna's less lethal launchers, designed to incapacitate attackers with tear gas and kinetic ammunition. Even better, Byrna just announced their all-new compact launcher. It's the same size as a smartphone, fires at 400 feet per second to deliver a hit like a sledgehammer. The compact launcher pairs maximum concealability with maximum force. Plus, more than 80% of its components are sourced right here in the USA and hand-assembled in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Byrna is legal in all 50 states, requires no background checks, can be shipped to your door and trusted by police departments and government agencies worldwide. So please visit Byrna.com today. That's BYRNA.com. Okay, YouTube, I just mentioned it. Our YouTube bonus, this will be the last day tomorrow, I'll do a new one, is on the people opposing the Iran confrontation. I tell you who they are and why they're opposed to it. It's a free channel, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. Hey, you know, it's better than wasting your time watching some of these dopey shows on the other stuff, I'll tell you that. Let's go to the mail. Ken, concierge member Ken, gets direct access to me. My team will help Ken if he needs help. Even if the bombs are dropped and presumably destroy the nuclear threat, there will be an on-the-ground military surveillance of all Iranian installations. No, I wouldn't say so. I would say that the UN inspectors will go in, probably U.S. personnel as well, but I wouldn't say there'd be we're not going to station boots on the ground in Iran. We're not going to do that. Don Malden, Aiken, South Carolina, I think you said that no Jews live in Iran. There are about 8,000 who live there. I stand corrected. Good pickup, Don. About 8,000 Jews. But here's something interesting. They all have to swear allegiance to the government of Iran. But there used to be 100,000 Jews in Iran, Persian Jews, about 8. Christopher Klein, New Ulm, Texas. Bill, you said China doesn't care about Iran. What is Iran's opinion of China? I don't know. And it doesn't matter, does it? Iran has no allies now. No one. Everybody's backed away. It's alone. Dennis Hassett, Winter Haven, Florida. Your recent trip to China has inspired my son to go there. He's in the process of getting a visa. His trip would be different than yours. He has no invitation, no translator, no security. Do you think it would be safe? No. Okay, if it's my son, he's not going. Hong Kong, if it were a good hotel and he was on a tour or something, Hong Kong would be all right. If your son goes to China unattended with no translator, trouble is almost guaranteed. And you're not going to be able to get him out of it, and neither am I. So, Dennis, please pass that on to your son. The only way to go to China is by a tour. They do still have some, but you going on your own? No. Tom Evans, Evergreen, Colorado. According to Reuters, Trump's deportation rate so far this year lags behind Biden's deportation rate. Yeah, because nobody's coming across the border now. Reuters is such a deceptive news agency. It was like 10 times as many people crossing the border a year ago than there is now. Maybe it's 20 times. So of course the deportations on Trump at the border are going to be lower. Of course. And that's where those deportations for Biden took place, at the border. There was no ICE stuff. Reuters. Come on. Sam, concierge member, just saw a post on Facebook suggesting that the permit application to hold the military parade was submitted by the Biden administration. Is that true? Yes, it is. 250th anniversary of the Army, and the Biden administration wanted to have a parade. There you go. Hank DiMartino, Huntington, New York, out on Long Island, where I am. Bill, you mentioned that the No Spin News is blocked in the EU. Thought you'd like to know that my wife and I were recently in Greece, and we were able to watch the No Spin News over Wi-Fi at 3 different hotels. Wow, that's good news. The Greeks have wised up. I'm really glad to hear that. Any country in Europe that's blocking us, you're a bunch of fascists over there. No reason to block us. I got it in Japan, I got it in Korea, and we got it in Greece. Come on. Marcia Book, Arizona. I just want to let you know, Bill, how much I am enjoying confronting the presidents. I learned a lot. The best part is I know it's factual and trustworthy. I'm reading A President a Day, and I'm up to Lincoln. You know, you learn a lot. I'm confronting the president's a phenomenon. A best-selling history book of the year by far. Okay, 2 years, because it came out in 24, and we're still cruising. And my new book, Confronting Evil, I think it's going to be pretty big. I want you to consider pre-ordering, get it first. That'll be out September 9th, coming on up, right? You like this book. Look at the Ayatollah there. Look at Putin. I mean, this is like what's going on today. Also, I'd like you to get some no-spin gear for the summer. Have some fun. Wake some people up. We got the polos. We got the tees. We got the hats. We got the mugs. So we are out of the no-spin mugs. We're sold out. But we have no-spin dad mugs. I don't know if we have any more mugs left, but I told you we were going to sell out of these. But this is great for the summer, and you'll have a lot of fun with it. Word of the day, don't be callow. C-A-L-L-O-W. I don't hear that word around too much. A good word. Do not be callow. Bill at BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town if you wish to opine, please, so we know you're a real human being. And once again, if you sign up for premium or concierge membership, I've been wanting to tell you this. We do not sell your name to anybody. Everybody else in the country does that. We do not do that. And we have a list, hundreds of thousands. We could make a fortune selling that list. No, your privacy is guarded here. It's in the vault. And that's an important part of what we do. We respect our audience and our premium and concierge members. So you trust in a lot of people these days? I'll comment on it in a moment. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or place in a tax advantage gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of 5-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Tax day's over, but for many Americans, the trouble is just beginning. If you missed the April 15th deadline or still owe back taxes, listen up. The IRS is filing more than 5,000 new tax liens every day. And with tools like property seizures, bank levies, wage garnishments, they are applying pressure at levels we have never seen. But Tax Network USA has you covered. Are you self-employed or a business owner? They specialize in cleaning up financial chaos to get you back on track. You can still regain control. The consultation is absolutely free. Acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies from escalating. So please call 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/bill. Deadline is passed. Let Tax Network USA help you before the IRS makes their next move. 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/bill. Final thought, I have a message of the day on trusting people. And there's a article in the Psychological Bulletin that says if you trust people, you're going to be happier, okay, and you'll prosper more. I don't know. I don't want you to be cynical, and I don't want you to be isolated. That'll make you unhappy, both of those things. But our new motto, and you may have noticed it, is trust is earned. Trust is earned. You don't automatically trust people. In our society today, lying, stealing, scams, all of that, far more prevalent than ever before in history. When I was growing up as a kid, in the 50s and 60s, you lie, you steal, you get a lot of trouble. Now you ask any lawyer, perjury in a court of law, out of control. Nothing happens to you. You go up there, swear to tell the whole truth, then you lie your butt off. They won't do anything to you. Steal, you could steal $900 worth of stuff in California and you won't be punished. And the voters okayed it. So I have an example in my message today where my mother, at the end of her life, I had to have 24-hour people in the house to care for her. Almost all of them stole from an old lady. So anyway, I trust a number of people. They've earned it. But other people that I did trust betrayed me. Same thing happened to you. I can guarantee it. Every human being gets betrayed. It's the reason Judas Iscariot has a prominent place in the New Testament. Careful. Thanks for watching and listening to the No Spin News. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.